Dear colleagues and participants, it's a great pleasure to have this discussion today. Although I'm not here physically with you in New York, I'm grateful for the opportunity to address you from Kiev. On February 24th, the whole world woke up in a totally new reality, in the reality where no conventional instruments were available. Russia unleashed an unprovoked war against Ukraine was the reality of the day. The war, which in terms of the scale, human and material losses, has become the largest in Europe since the Second World War, and the bloodiest one. None of the Western politicians and military believed the successful outcome of this aggression, but Ukraine was withstanding the invasion, not only for the 3 days, but now, after almost 7 months of this bloody and brutal war, we are no longer talking about Russian tanks on the Ukrainian-Polish border, but instead, the world community standing united together, discussing how to make Ukraine win, the democracy win, the freedom win in this war. This became possible thanks to the heroism, courage, and professionalism and dedication of our warriors, volunteers, and each and every citizen. Strong international support to Ukraine, unity over democratic values by means of sanctions and the military support was crucial these days and remains crucial right now. Taking this opportunity, I'd like to express both my and Ukrainian people's gratitude to all our partners for this invaluable support, especially to those who have been standing with us throughout all of the way. From the first minute the Russian bomb attacked the cities of Ukraine on 24th of February. At the same time, we also must be honest and open to everything was at stakes. Not only today, but in decades ahead. The truth is that by helping and standing united with Ukraine, countering Russian invasion, countering Russian bloody and terroristic war, the democratic world simultaneously neutralizes real military threats from Russia, a country which openly pursues revanchist imperialistic policy. So this is the fight for freedom. This is the fight against autocracies, but also this is the fight against terror. This is the major exam for all the institutions granting peace and security around the world established after the Second World War. The truth is also that Ukraine has one of the strongest armed forces and is already defending the eastern flank of NATO. The truth is that Ukraine has always been a reliable partner and remains the reliable partner to all the allies, even in a time of full-scale war. Doing this, we're paying extremely high price, and at the same time speedily depleting and military power of the Kremlin. We successfully countering what was believed to be one of the most powerful armies in the world. This is an experience that no NATO ally has. I would like to emphasize that Ukraine de facto has already implemented many practices and standards of the alliance. The best practices of deterrence, resilience, and maturity of conducting military activity in time of war. The war has brought a real tectonic changes in the political and military political landscape of Europe already over these 7 months. There cannot be any doubt that all of us together earned its rightful place in a safe and democratic family. Before the full-scale war, at the very beginning of it, just a few allies led by the United States provided small arms and light weapons to Ukraine. There were no tanks, about heavy lethal weapons. Courage of Ukrainians, as well as the clear Russian genocidal policy, broke barriers of doubt, barriers of hesitancy and barriers of mistrust, but also opened the way to leadership, opened the way to unity and to new horizons. It's almost evident in such a sensitive issue as information sharing. Achieving information seriously over Russian troops is largely due to our fruitful interaction with allies and alliance for the past years, and that has played a game-changing role in our cooperation with allies. Thus, as you can see, in recent months, Ukraine has moved significantly closer to the common European security architecture, and through the major threat of all the democratic world identified in the NATO strategic concept, Russia, on the decades backwards from any prosperous future. After February 24th, NATO potential decision on the membership action plan for Ukraine no longer has the same value, scope, and significance as before. If it had happened before the war with Russia in a full scale, we would have been happy. It would be the right way of the reforms to be chosen. It will help to break ambiguity that has been weakening Ukrainian democratic development for decades. Today, such a proposal will definitely be equalized to the decision of the Bucharest summit in 2008. It will be a promise without action, luxury that neither we nor transatlantic community can afford at this time when we are fighting for survival. On 13th of September, the Office of the President of Ukraine presented its vision as a baseline for the security guarantees for Ukraine, which were developed by a group of international and local advisors led by former NATO SecGen Anders Fogh Rasmussen. Ukraine offers a basis for establishment of multi-level security system with several multilateral and bilateral treaties. According to this vision, the system should provide Ukraine with a protection before it accedes to NATO, but it will continue to operate after that, since it's broader than the alliance mechanism. The main document was named as a Kiev Security Compact. The vision will be finalized with the guarantor states. We do hope that it would be the major basis for discussion and the solution of security architecture after Ukraine overcomes and the war is over, to make sure that we can deter Russia and prevent any other full-scale wars on our continent. In the end, I would like to stress that the only chance for Russia to win this war is to break our unity, break our faith in victory, and encircle us in their agenda. The pressure, determination, and the leadership on holding Russia accountable should increase. We should tighten sanctions and keep on armed delivery to Ukraine as long as it needed, until the peace is on our soil and on your soils also. Glory to Ukraine.